from other sources, and so we're going to be supporting about 80 families at $100 a piece is what the school district said that would be appropriate. So that's our goal, is 80 at $100.
All businesses.
All businesses. So all of the gift cards will be all of the small businesses here locally, and that way we can keep our money circulating.
50 in groceries.
50 in groceries and 50 in the gifts.
And no alcohol.
And I did ensure that the gift certificates will say no alcohol, tobacco, lottery, and non-redeemable cash back.
Well, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, most of you know me and been here before, but we're allowing volunteers back into school now. So we need some more mentors. And really I'm here to kind of solicit it and explain what the program is. What we do is work with students from freshman through their senior year, try to figure out what they need to succeed after high school. So what our mentors do, and this stuff I left there, one of them is about the grants and stuff that we can help them with. The other one's kind of a calendar to help keep you along what the path is for the seniors and juniors. And if you want to take on a freshman, we do have to meet with them during school hours on school property, and in my room is a good place. And mainly, a lot of kids just need an adult that cares. Because a lot of times, you know, there's families where their parents don't necessarily engage, and they need somebody to help themselves to succeed. It started out as purely a college program. Now it's so much more than that. There's trade schools, there's all kinds of things. There's professional resumes we can help them with. There's ways, just because, in my opinion, if a kid is happy, they will succeed. And if they're doing something, because some parents are just drilled down, this is what you have to do, and they don't want to. And so sometimes you're a little help from them to be an adult that can listen to reason on their behalf, you know. And sometimes you're a liaison in between the parent and the student, and that's okay too, because it helps communication from both ways. But with freshmen, it's really just checking in maybe once, twice, 3 times a year. How are you? Just come in for 15, 20 minutes, see how their grades are. Somebody that's checking in that they, you know, can talk to about. In my room, it's whatever happens in my room stays in my room. So the kids are able to talk about whatever they want freely. It gives them a place of comfort, and when they need help, they can have it. If they need time, they can have it. When you get a little older, the sophomores and juniors, they don't need a lot of time, or sophomores and freshmen, but the juniors and seniors, it starts building up where they're getting more anxious. Seniors especially, that's usually when they all realize. This year we have a few juniors that are really engaging, but it's helping them with their FAFSA, it's helping them with, yeah.
Do you have to be vetted to be in this program?
Vetted?
Well, I know.
Fingerprinted and everything else.
Background check. Corey.
Yes.
Criminal check.
Yes. Yeah, and that's part of this application, which I'll get into too, because there's also that horrible vaccination word. Because you do have to be vaccinated, or you can sign one of the waivers if they have religious or medical. Where was I going with that? Oh, it's helping them with the FAFSA, helping them with college applications, helping them with scholarships, helping them figure out, you know, how to write essays, going over their essays with them, helping them figure out what kind of path they want to take. And it's great when they graduate and they come back and they're so grateful for all the help that you do give them. It's a rewarding thing. It's something that money can't buy. It's something that you know that you're an adult helping them in this crazy world right now. These kids have all gone through COVID in a really weird way. The seniors are really struggling because they started out as freshmen and now they're back as seniors, but they kind of skipped a couple years in there. So to have their connections are a little different, and they're seeking just, I think, just somebody that really cares and wants to listen to how they want to proceed. And you try to give them your advice. A lot of them want to go directly to a university, which is fair, but then reality hits and the financial differences between going through an AAOT or going directly to a university. There's some, you know, it can work in so many different ways. We have the Ford Foundation for those in need. There's a lot that are financially in need, we have a lot for them, but there's a lot that are merit-based, and those are harder for the kids to get, so you have to learn to seek them out. I pretty much keep everything updated on what scholarships are available. Like right now, the OSAC estate's open, Ford Foundation's open. Come the first of the year, I'll be reaching out because who's going to be your liaison this year for the Rotary scholarship? Would that be Jerry, or when it gets time? Because in January, I'll be hooking up with all of you to kind of figure out what each one, like Crystal River, we have or at least one this year for sure.
It's what I do every year, yeah.
So, Mary, look at that, Section 321, and you're awesome. Okay, that's an easy contact. So, are there any questions about the program itself? I know you've heard this before, so.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah,
So you're looking for volunteers, right?
correct.
And it's sort of a mentoring process. The requirements need to be vetted, background check, and then the vaccination thing.
Right, there's an application for the Aspire program itself, and then there's the volunteer application through the school, through the district, and the district does require background checks. And on just a note on that, I found out when I went to Sir Optimus last week, I think it was, the background check now through ODE has to be typed and signed. It cannot be manually filled out. So if you want to bring in your application, I can actually type it in and then print it out, and you can just sign it because ODE is rejecting them if they're not typed. And yeah, the school, that part is theirs, the Aspire's mine, but we have to have them both filled out in order to have a volunteer on site.
And if someone submits, but they're asking for an exemption from vaccination,
Right.
Who makes the call about whether that goes?
Well, I got it from our HR, and they have one for religious and one for medical. The medical needs the doctor filled out. I don't think the religious one. Yeah, the religious one, it looks like you just signed it yourself.
Okay.
And so there's two separate ones, and that would be HR that would make that decision. So it's just, yeah.
And is there an interview process after that with this district, or what's happened?
Just
after
with
you
me,
approve?
I run it.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's just me going over it. And then what I do is once I get the volunteers, then I match them with the students in need. Because right now we have about 30 seniors and we have about 130 kids in the high school. And so the freshmen and sophomore, they don't take a lot of time. They just need somebody once a quarter to be perfect. And juniors, then maybe once a month, once every other month, checking in with them, get their resume going, get them on task. This year, Sue Pierce and I have been talking, because for the last 3 years I've been wanting to do a volunteer fair so that kids can learn what opportunities are out here in our community so they can volunteer and obtain, a stronger resume with volunteer hours. So Sue and I are kind of thinking maybe we can merge one together towards the end of spring. Not really sure. I want to do one in fall, but I'm just so busy. But the idea of just keeping the kids encouraged, giving them ideas, there's job shadow opportunities. The hospital's open again, I've got all that. So now kids can actually job shadow at the hospital again. And I do have, and you guys do too, a lot of connections within the community for kids that are interested. Like now I'm going to reach out to Billy to see about architecting because I have a student that's really interested in that. And I know he's kind of retired, but maybe he would be willing to do that. I don't know if John Harper, but each of those guys built one of my parents' houses, but I know Billy's just down the street, so yeah.
Do families have the right to insist that their child's mentor be vaccinated? Or is it hit or miss?
I don't know, that's a good question. Haven't been asked that. That's a good question. It's, the school has to know or have the waiver for sure, but I guess if there was a parent that felt that strongly, I could facilitate that.
Well, how does the parent to know that their child is being matched with someone who is not vaccinated? If they're not told.
I guess I would have to tell them.
Michelle,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the parents, at Optimist, you talked about how you work with parents and sometimes you work with the parents and the kids together and
Right,
something
right.
separately.
Mhm.
Do the mentors and you talk with parents and kids together, or do you as a mentor just talk with the kid and not?
Normally, it's just with the student, unless the parent wants to come in and you want to invite them. The parent would come into school as well, if that was something, especially like, I'm meeting up with the family tomorrow for their FAFSA, a mom, dad, and kid. Because it's too much for them, and I get that, and I've done that for a lot. That's not necessarily in the job description.
No.
But, but it's what needs to be done, and the kids need it done. But as far as your question, Carl, I think that I know most of the kids pretty well, so that if I thought there might be an issue, because I match the kids with the mentors. And that's another thing too, like I said, it's Optimist, is if there is an issue, if you're matched with a student and it's not meshing, I can make that go away. I can fix it and nobody needs to know any wiser, and we can help that. But if there are mentors that are not vaccinated and I'm matching in with kids and I think that their family might be of concern, I can reach out to that family before they meet.
I would think it's a liability issue for the school. If the school matches a child, a student with an unvaccinated person without the family knowing, and that child contracts COVID.
Right, well, yeah, and well.
But they're
we just
interacting
had-
all day long with
Yeah,
teachers and other
school.
students that are
I mean,
unvaccinated.
we've had vaccinated
Potentially,
people
you
at
can't
school
say
that
they
have
got it
too,
from that
so
person.
that's,
Yeah.
I understand your concerns, but I don't know of anybody except for one family that is super strongly feeling that way.
It's not mine.
I know, I just know.
I just know who it is.
But would anybody be interested in working with some kids? And we do have workshops, we have scholarship workshops where I like the mentors to come in, review essays, help the kids figure out or fill out their applications for scholarships. Primarily, we're going to do one here in a little bit, just kind of covering it all because it's kind of been a really different year this year. So
Does it have to be in person? Because I'm thinking about my daughter maybe, because she went to school here, but it would have to be Zoom. Would they be?
once they meet, it's okay to do email.
You have the
rules on
access to do
Zoom.
Zoom?
Yeah, I'd have to check out the rules on that because they're really particular about it being on site in the school
Yeah.
with the kids
Yeah.
for the parent safety primarily, and that way they know they're there. And sometimes
So when you start this with a student, let's say they're a freshman, do you stay with them for the entirety of their school term, 4 years?
unless
So
if
we're
you're,
basically signing up for an extended period of time if we do this.
it could go either way because if you start out with a freshman and after a year or two and you're just burned out, or you want a different kid, because it does get a lot busier junior and senior year especially. I mean, it's every day, all day, for me with the seniors. But now I have a lot of juniors coming in.
I'll sign up for one.
Well, yes, all right, cool. Do you need a
I've already
exemption?
been through the vetting process when I was with middle school over here, so I mean, I need to stop, yeah. But
Right.
I've been through it at least once.
And do you need a vaccination exemption?
No, I have
Okay, cool.
all 4. So I've had 4
Only 4?
bouts with a needle.
And see, and this is the page that ODE is really weird about. Is this criminal history one, and it's on the website. And it's on the website, so you can type it out and then just sign it, or if you come in, I can type out everything and print it
Isn't it
out.
against the law to ride your bike in a car lane?
Yes,
If you're going under 20.
if you're going under 20. Any other questions or comments about the program, or?
He's never been cited for it.
Come on, man, I need more volunteers. Come on, Tara, you're never busy.
Yeah, Tara.
Come on, Becky, you're never busy.
Just like any other child.
But anyway, there's the program. If you guys do have interest in the future, you can always get a hold of me at the high school. I'm pretty readily available. Like Gage, Rhonda's kid, he's graduating this year. He might need a mentor.
Well, thank you very much.
I got it.